if you're thinking about buying a smartwatch that can help you track your day, such as, for example, physical activity, sleep at night, heart rate, blood oxygen, or for example, also receiving calls or notifications, you're in luck, because today I'll introduce the HAYLOU Watch 4S, a competitively priced smartwatch with full features. And we're going to start this video with the price. The price of this watch is 42 euros, which is the cheapest I've been able to find so far. But most likely with Black Friday, they'll come out with new offers that will let you get it at a lower price. As always, all of this is in the description. Now let's discuss the watch. It's a watch with a 1.43-inch screen that has a maximum brightness of 1000 nits. The screen features active matrix organic light emitting diode technology, which allows us to see much more vivid colors, higher contrast, and deeper blacks. Also, we'll be able to see this screen perfectly under sunlight thanks to those 1000 nits of brightness. And to point out a downside in this aspect, I would have liked this watch to have an automatic brightness sensor so that the brightness could adjust automatically. For example, if we're in bed at night with no light or outside in daylight, it won't adjust automatically, so we'll need to set the brightness manually. Sometimes when I'm in bed and check the time, the screen flashes brightly. But well, it's a minor detail and it's kind of expected, so to speak, given the price of the smartwatch. As for the design, we have a stainless steel case. In this case, we have the white or cream color because this white is a bit off-white, and we also have a black version. In this case, we have a screen with a 2D 5D finish, which makes the screen slightly curved right at the edge. This makes the integration and the presence of this watch very good and of superior quality. It's obvious, and I'm not saying it in the video, but the screen has a circular shape, just so you keep that in mind. On the right side, we have two buttons. The main one takes us to the main menu where we navigate with the digital crown. To zoom in or out, scroll in certain apps, and the lower button gives us direct access to workouts. If we want to go back a screen, we need to swipe to the left directly with our finger, but we'll see this now, directly on the watch. In terms of technology, we have all kinds of dual-band satellite connections, such as Global Positioning System Beidou, GLONASS, Galileo, and Quasi-Zenith satellite system. How does Global Positioning System help us use this device? Well, first of all, it allows us to get our location to obtain, for example, metrics like the weather at the place where we are. And also, for example, to go out running and have it track the route we've taken on the map. This way, we can see at all times exactly where we were on the map at each moment of the route. We'll see that later in the app. This watch has more than 120 sports modes to track different activities, like when we go for a walk, when we go running, when we use a stationary bike, ride a bike outside, use a treadmill, use an elliptical, or when we go swimming in the pool. Well, anyway, all kinds of sports. In those 120 exercises it can record, we have all the main ones. It also has different sensors, like for example, heart rate measurement and beats per minute, blood oxygen, sleep quality, stress, calories burned, steps taken during the day, and in this way, even the distance traveled. These measurements use artificial intelligence to provide greater accuracy in obtaining the data. In terms of connectivity, we have Bluetooth 5.3, which allows us to connect the watch to the phone. And in this way, you can view everything on your phone and keep it connected to see all your sports data, sleep information, heart measurements, and more. As well as, for example, having the phone send us notifications or even calls so we can properly answer them. From the 5.3 watch, it allows us to have greater energy efficiency, which translates into longer battery life, which we will talk about next. The battery of this watch is 400 mAh, and the brand promises us that we can use the watch for 10 days. We can use it for 18 days in basic mode, that is, without connectivity, and we can use it for 26 hours straight. If we are using the Global Positioning System, for example, to track a sports route, in my experience, it's a little bit less. I think we can reach 8-9 days, that is, a little more than a week of use, without quite reaching those 10 days. However, this depends on how often we turn on the screen, the brightness level, and other factors. That's just my experience. Also, I should mention that this watch is splash proof. Well, it has a certification that allows up to 1 atmosphere, which is equivalent to being submerged 10 meters underwater. What does this allow us to do? Well, honestly, not much. It can't be used for diving, but it's fine for showering, washing hands, being in the rain, and withstanding splashes. However, it's not recommended to submerge it or go diving with it, for example. Now let's see how this watch works. The first thing we can configure are the watch faces, meaning these initial screens where we can see the time and some data. For example, the steps we've taken today, the day of the week, of course. And for example, our heart rate, the weather, or other information like the battery to access the main menu. We just give a little tap to the digital crown and here we'll have all the available apps. Can we enlarge or shrink this menu like this with the digital crown? Let's do a quick overview of all the apps we find. First, a flashlight app that will help us light up by, well, fully illuminating the screen. We will have a messages section. Right now, I don't have anything here because I've deleted all the notifications, but all the notifications from Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp that we receive would show up here. And from here, we won't be able to reply to them, but we can read them here in this menu. This is where the watch will let us read them. The amount of oxygen in our blood, it will take a few moments to measure it and then give us the result. And there we have it, a value of $97.99. Right now it's updating it. On the other hand, and in it we were able to, a psycho energy indeed, contributing to the mix, a portion of the... No, be sure to give Snapchat the one that matches the size we provide. This will play a short melody on the phone so we can find it if it's lost. We can also access the weather where it will give us the forecast for the next few days, the temperature, and the approximate weather conditions. Next, we also have the activity section where we can see all the calories we've burned, the kilometers we've walked, and the time and hours we've been standing, as well as the steps we've taken. Well, it explains everything for us. Then we have the sleep app, but well, we'll see this better on the phone, the app to control our music. The women's period tracker. And here we're going to have a phone app where we can dial new numbers, call contacts, or see the latest calls. And speaking of this, for example, let's make a call directly from this phone. As you can see, we're receiving a call here and we could answer it. Hello, hi, okay? And are you seeing that you can hear the call there perfectly? We'd have volume control, options to mute ourselves, and hang up. The universal watch would display our measured heart rate per minute throughout the day. 158 during exercise, 54 likely while resting at night. We have a small calculator, an app with preset timers, although you'll see later that we can make use of artificial intelligence. Here we'll have a record of the sports we've done, including kilometers, kilocalories, time, and some quick statistics. Then, this is the app that we're going to be able to use. In the same way, we can access it with this shortcut here. See all the types of sports we can track, like cycling, hiking, elliptical, rowing, and we can add, well, many more that are already predefined here. As I said, we can directly use artificial intelligence on our phone. From here, for example, we can say, hey, how many days does the year 2025 have?
The year 2025 has 365 days because it's not a leap year.
Well, there we have it. The artificial intelligence on our mobile device starts up. Here we have the alarm settings. Here it measures our blood pressure. We also have a stopwatch, some games, like the classic ones, Flappy Bird and 2048. Hey, listen, this is good to give to a small child so they can have some fun from time to time. It can be quite nice. It can be entertaining. Let's see here. Oops, I lost because I touched the edge of the screen. Some other things like setting up SOS so that if we have an accident, it calls our predefined contacts. Here we have an app for relaxation, a calendar, and the world clock. As you can see, it's a simple watch, but with all the available functionality. I'll use this chance to show you our band, which is actually very good. It's like a rubber or silicone band that closes with this clasp here, and then we can tuck the excess strap into this hole to hide it. And hey, this way it won't get caught on anything while we're doing our daily tasks. Of course, as you can see, if I don't fully lift the watch, it has always on display, meaning the time is always visible, and when we turn it, the main screen lights up. Let's take a look at the mobile app for this HAYLOU Watch 4S. When we open it, it's very simple. We can simply see the training data we've done throughout the day. Well, not just training, but today's activity, the steps, the minutes we've spent exercising, the calories, and the distance covered. Then here we'll have a record of sports activities. For example, this morning I went out for a 1 kilometer run. It shows me the duration, kilocalories, average pace, steps taken, and average heart rate. And well, it gives us some statistics, for example, about heart rate, showing how it has gone up and down. Here's a quick break to record a video, and it gives us some percentages. Finally, we have information about sleep, about light sleep, deep sleep, rapid eye movement, and the time we've been awake during the night. And, well, based on all this, it gives us a score of 74. We have the steps, the calories, the latest measurements of heartbeats, and blood pressure. Similarly, when you average the data here, the blood oxygen appears. That's it. Because then, well, we can see some other things, like for example, changing the watch faces I mentioned earlier. And we have access to set alarms, sync the time, find the watch if we've lost it, or set reminders, for example, to drink water at certain times. But the truth is that the app is very simple. We're not really looking for much more information, and with that said, I think there's nothing else left for me to show you in this thread. Watch 4S, a super complete watch with a competitive price of around 42 euros. And now I just need to know, what do you guys think about this watch? Down in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like as always in the description. Find purchase links and details always at the lowest price. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.